So if you're a ham radio operator like me, many of you probably started in shortwave radio, and when I was growing up, I had a dream of having digitally tuned shortwave radios instead of turning knobs. I know some people like to turn knobs. And today, with all of the radios coming out of, different manufacturers and such, there have been a lot of options. So this company, Retekess, sent me a shortwave radio, which is the V111. And this radio has a number of unique features, but those of you who've been on the channel for a while and are subscribers, and thank you for subscribing, you'll know that I reviewed this one. And this one with the mega bass and all sorts of cool features. This one and an SD card slot to do different recording and such like that. They sent me this one with a different set of features. And this one has some things that I noticed that are a little different. So let's take it for a ride. So the first thing I noticed, this is a Retekess V111. Instead of the V115 using a rechargeable phone battery, this uses AA's. And AA's are interesting because if you're in a SHTF scenario, you don't, you can use common batteries that you have. Or even if you're just, you're just disorganized and you don't charge batteries well, you don't have to charge this radio basically. You can use any set of AA batteries, even rechargeable ones, okay? The other feature that this radio has that I like is that it supports a wide frequency range. So it has continuous coverage from 3.2 to 21.9 megahertz, meaning that it covers most of the popular shortwave bands on AM only. It doesn't have single sideband, but it does have AM. It has FM stereo with a pair of headphones. It has a USB power socket, so you can power this with USB if you wanted to, right? If you wanted to. And you can also power this with the batteries. It has a clock, so you can set it to, I guess, an alarm. And then you can also receive the wide frequency range, including, they say, FM 64 to 108 megahertz, which is probably a little different, 64 to 108, than what's explained here, and I'll tell you in a minute. Medium wave, 522 to 1620 kilohertz, okay. And also you have the shortwave. But this also has long wave, which is undocumented on this label. So it has the long wave band, which is not useful in the United States, but it's useful in Europe, okay? So if you're in Europe or if you're traveling to Europe, you can use this and receive the long wave transmissions, although some are getting shut down like the BBC and such. But this is a pretty interesting piece of kit. By far, its biggest feature is that this radio is so inexpensive. You can get this for pretty cheap. I'll have links to purchase down below. That you could buy a couple of these and just stash them and keep them, as emergency radios. Of course, they're not single sideband, but they have features to receive AM broadcasts and also AM on shortwave. So shortwave has become really useful. I broadcast my show on WTWW Shortwave 5085 on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern or midnight UTC Sunday. And shortwave has been an important tool in the propaganda, wars against Vladimir Putin, because they're hearing one side of the story in Russia, and they're also hearing one side of the story in Ukraine from Russia. And, shortwave radio gives people an alternative view. Ted Randall basically, he broadcasts to Ukraine on 9940, I believe it is, with WTWW, and sends people messages to Ukraine. You can go on their website, wtww.us, and send a message to Ukraine. So let's go through the features of this radio, and we'll see. I'll explain some of the things. I'm going to try to do a little reception test, but we'll see how it is. The sound isn't as good as the V115, but it's acceptable. Okay, it doesn't have the mega bass, but it's pretty good. All right, so here is the radio. Okay, and you have a pretty basic display here. You have the display with the clock that does the frequency. You have favorites. You have shortwave, medium wave, memory, memory, FM. This doesn't have keypad buttons like this V115. So the V115 actually has a full keypad here, right, that you could use. It has a built-in recorder. This one doesn't have that. This one has the frequency range stamped on the back here, as I mentioned. They tell you it has 13 bands of shortwave. Well, 13 bands. I think that includes the shortwave bands. It has FM 64 to 108, medium wave 522 to 1620, shortwave 3.2 to 21.9, battery 2 times AA batteries, or you could use a USB cord, as I mentioned. Okay. So let's turn it on and see. And I want to show you some interesting things here. So 9.7 megahertz. And I select another band. 15, 17, 21. 5.95. Yeah, you hear so many stuff here. The selectivity on this radio doesn't seem to be too hot. It seems to be getting stuff that's bleeding over from other stuff. You can see. Let's just get on to Alan Wiener. I hope. Let's see. 7490. Right, okay. So I believe that's WRMI. I could add that as a memory. M plus. Okay. Here we go, turn it on. I picked a safe radio station. Okay, I guess not. But you can seek tune, and then notice when you go faster, it'll go really fast. Now, the reception seems to be on average compared to the V115. The 64 to 108 apparently is Russian band. So if you use this radio in Russia, you have access to all of the various frequencies. Let's see here. We can go down to medium wave. I do medium wave here. I press it again, I get the long wave. Of course, there's really nothing to listen to in North America. And, yeah, I wish I had something. We could go from 170, let's see here, 153 to shockingly high to up to 153 to 279. So, that's pretty interesting. Medium wave, of course, and you hear that interference from the USB. And I'll keep on listening, and as soon as we get some extra money here, I'm going to send some money to tithe. 620. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Lord. Let's see here now.
To ensure the accuracy of the vote count in Georgia, review.
Right, that's 77 WABC. Okay. And let's see what else here. Long wave. So all in all, you know, there's really not much else to talk about. I mean, this one, unlike the V115, this doesn't have the recording feature. It does not have the rechargeable battery. You pretty much have to use it with AA batteries or USB. And the mega bass on the V115, if you want to go back to that review, it doesn't have the mega bass. It just has a regular basic speaker. Would I recommend this? Well, you know, if you're on a budget, then you can definitely get one of these for not much money, and I'll have a link to purchase. It's not top of the line, but it's pretty good for a budget. I mean, you know, you could, like I said, you could keep a few of these. And it has long wave, something I'm not seeing in a lot of other shortwave radios. Okay? All right, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.